moniker of this phone, M. M means monstrous battery, M means massive 6.4 inch screen, and M means mega 64 megapixel camera. Everything about this phone screams big. But wait, is it really though? Let's find out. I'm Avinash from Android Pros, and today we're going to check out the latest phone from Samsung, the M31. Now, opening up the box, the first thing we find out is the device itself. And you also get a USB 3.0 cable, a short one but does the job. You also get the standard Samsung 15-watt fast charger brick, and it also has a little bit of a paperwork and documentation, and surprisingly, that's it. This phone does not come with the earpiece, nor does it come with the TPU case. This is the standard cost cutting that Samsung does with all the M series phone, but wait, we will talk about that later. We will go into it much deeper in the later part of this video. Now, coming to the phone itself, the first impression when I pick it up is I could feel the heft of the phone. It's definitely heavy, naturally because of this massive 6000 mAh battery, but Samsung has done a pretty good job as far as the weight balance is concerned. Holding this phone for long duration does not really feel laboring. And coming to the other hardware aspect of this phone, this is a unibody plastic chassis. This phone does not get metal or a plastic frame. This is all plastic. On the front you get the 6.4 inch screen with Infinity U notch. You also get a mono speaker, does not get stereo, USB Type-C, and everyone's favorite headphone jack. On this side you get the slot for 2 SIM and 1 dedicated micro SD. It also has 64 inbuilt storage, which we will talk about later. It has a capacitive fingerprint sensor. Again, it does not get the in-display fingerprint sensor. That's another cost cutting that goes around with this M series phone. But another main highlight of this phone is this 4 cameras module in the back. This is a new thing also for M series, because this is the first M series phone to get the 4 cameras. The new camera here is the macro camera. It also has a new main camera, which we will talk about later. It also has a noise cancellation mic at the top. That's all about the hardware. Now we will look at the internals of this phone. This phone comes with the standard Exynos 9611 processor, which is the processor we find in every other Samsung mid-range phone these days. It's a tried and tested processor. It does not offer over-the-top performance, but at the same time, for every day-to-day use, this processor is more than enough. This processor also has Mali G72 processor. It does a pretty good job. It's not the latest and greatest, but again, for the price range, this processor and this GPU is more than enough. You can play PUBG at high, because since this is a Samsung processor and Samsung unlocked all the gaming support for this phone, so you can definitely play it and you won't really find any stutters or lags at all. This phone also does not heat up, but you can't really expect too much performance from this chipset. It comes with 2 variants, the 64GB variant and other one is the 128GB variant. Both the variants come standard with the 6GB of RAM. It does not come with 4GB of RAM. The starting itself is 6, and which I think is pretty good coupled with this processor. This phone is more than capable. It also has a good optimization. You can keep more apps in the background and it won't really have any lag whatsoever. And it also has UFS 2.1 storage. That means the transferring of data files is very good. Now, coming to the second main aspect of this phone, which is the camera. Now, this phone gets 4 cameras, as you can see in the camera module itself. The first one is the main camera, which is a Samsung GW1 64 megapixel sensor with aperture of 1.8. The second camera is the ultra wide camera, which is the same 8 megapixel camera which comes in the previous phone M30s. There's no real upgrade there. The next one is the 5 megapixel depth sensor, and the new camera, in addition to the other old cameras, is the 5 megapixel macro camera. Now, in day-to-day usage, I don't know how much you're going to use that, but it does a very decent job. You can't really expect anything more than that. There's so much of noise even in the daylight as well as the night mode. As far as camera cutout is concerned, this is in line with Samsung's design language for 2020. As far as the video capabilities is concerned, this can record 4K at 30 fps and 1080p at 30 fps with super steady mode. It also has a 32 megapixel front camera, which is not really any upgrade from the predecessor M30s. That's all about the cameras. As far as the software side goes, this phone comes with Android 10 out of the box. And on top of that, this phone runs with Samsung's One UI 2.0. As you can see, this phone comes with the latest navigation support, so you can swipe up to close, swipe up and hold for multitask, and swipe right and left for going back. Now this phone is well optimized because it has a Samsung processor, and the One UI on top of this works seamlessly. It's everything in here is very neatly packed. The icons is very refreshing. The new animation is pretty good. You won't really find any stutters or lags anywhere. As far as the overall app performance goes, everything is very well optimized. And this phone lacks several features as far as the One UI goes, which we will talk about later in the pros and cons. But again, if you are a normal user and you can't really pay or shell out extra money for the A series phones or the S series phones, I think you can do well with this one. That's all as far as the software side goes. Now coming to the pros and cons of this phone, let us first take a look at the pros. The main pro of this phone is the display. If you're someone whose interest lies in media consumption, you can definitely go for this phone. No doubt, this is one of the best. The other main USP of this phone is obviously the battery, 6000 mAh, which is not going to die down at all. With average usage, this battery can last up to 2 days, and with heavy usage, this battery can last up to 1 day. And another pro of this phone is the main camera, the 64 megapixel. It does a fantastic job. You can't have any negative comments about this camera. Now coming to the cons of this phone, the other three cameras in this phone offers a relatively decent performance. You can't really expect anything more, and as far as the macro lens, it doesn't really do much. And another con of this phone is that this is a stripped down version of One UI. You won't get many features in this. For example, Samsung Pay, the Edge screen, the Edge Lightning, NFC support, and the updates are obviously going to be slow. So those are another cons of this phone, and it offers a good gaming performance, but you are an avid gamer, this is not the phone. But considering the price point, and if you're okay with the lack of features in the One UI goes, then I can strongly suggest you to go buy this phone at 15,000 price point. This is a very good phone. This is worth buying as well. So that's all the review about the M31, the latest phone from Samsung. And if you like the video, please go subscribe, share and like. Thank you.